Alien surgeons baffled by humans' sudden recovery and quest for revenge. Chapter 1. The Near-Death Encounter. In the far reaches of the galaxy, at the edge of the Orion Cluster, lies the medical outpost Stellar Sanctum. Known for treating the galaxy's most bizarre injuries and diseases, Stellar Sanctum has seen many strange cases, but nothing quite like this. When a battered human named Alex Carter is brought in by a group of space traders, the alien surgeons and medics don't expect him to last the night. Alex, a former Marine from Earth, had barely survived an ambush by a ruthless band of Zektar raiders, an insectoid species known for their merciless tactics. Left for dead on a remote moon, he was found clinging to life by passing traders who brought him to the outpost. His body bore scars of a brutal fight, deep gashes from Zektar claws, burns from plasma weaponry, and multiple fractures. The lead surgeon, Dr. Thraxon, a tall and wiry raltil, a species known for their dexterous, multi-tentacled limbs, examined the human with a mix of curiosity and pity. This Deathworlder shouldn't have survived at all, he mused, marveling at the readings from the bioscanner. His body is trying to mend itself despite the trauma. Fascinating, but futile. They put Alex in a medically induced coma to stabilize his condition, assuming it would take months for him to recover, if he recovered at all. The Zektar raiders, far from worrying about their prey, had already moved on to their next target. Chapter 2. The Awakening. 2 weeks passed in relative quiet, the staff of Stellar Sanctum going about their routine as Alex remained unconscious in the recovery bay. But then, without warning, the calm was shattered by the blaring of alarms. Alex's vitals surged, heart rate, brain activity, and adrenaline levels spiked dangerously high. The medical staff, accustomed to the sluggish recovery of most patients, rushed in to find Alex convulsing as if his body were fighting some unseen enemy. Dr. Thraxon and his team worked frantically, adjusting the life support systems, trying to understand what was happening. Increase the sedatives, Thraxon ordered, but to their shock, the human's body resisted the drugs meant to keep him under. With a final burst of strength, Alex's eyes snapped open. He gasped, his muscles straining against the restraints. "Where are they?" he demanded, his voice raw but filled with a fiery resolve. He ripped out the tubes and monitors attached to his body, staggering to his feet despite the doctor's attempts to hold him down. "Patient Carter, you've been through severe trauma," Dr. Thraxon said, trying to reason with him, his tentacles extending defensively. "You need to rest your injuries." "I don't care about my injuries," Alex growled, his breath ragged as he looked around, gathering his strength. "The Zektar, where did they go?" The medical team exchanged baffled looks. "You should be in bed," one of the aides, a nervous Galaxian, muttered, but Alex was already heading for the door, his movements surprisingly steady for someone who had been on the brink of death so recently. Chapter 3. A Purpose Rekindled. Despite the medic's attempts to convince him otherwise, Alex left the recovery bay, limping but determined. News of his miraculous awakening spread through Stellar Sanctum like wildfire, and soon, aliens from every corner of the station came to catch a glimpse of the Deathworlder who had defied the odds. Many were puzzled, but a few were intrigued by what could drive a human to push past such pain. Dr. Thraxon, too, couldn't shake his curiosity. He tracked Alex down to the station's commons, where he found him interrogating space traders, trying to learn the Zektar raiders' whereabouts. "Carter," Thraxon began, speaking slowly. "Why are you risking yourself like this? Most would take the chance to heal, but you seem eager to face them again." Alex met the alien doctor's gaze, his expression hard. "They killed my crew. Left me for dead. If I don't stop them, they'll do it again to someone else." The doctor's tentacles twitched thoughtfully. It was a concept foreign to many species in the Coalition, the drive to seek justice even when it meant facing almost certain death. Thraxon had seen soldiers and warriors before, but this human's resolve was different, rooted in a sense of duty that defied logic. Chapter 4. The Confrontation. With the help of a few sympathetic traders and Thraxon's reluctant assistance, Alex managed to track the Zektar raiders to a mining colony on the edge of the system. Despite his injuries, he geared up, scavenging for weapons and armor that could aid him in the upcoming confrontation. The aliens watched with a mix of apprehension and awe as Alex prepared, knowing that this human was stepping into danger that few would survive. Thraxon, caught between his duty as a physician and his growing respect for Alex's determination, offered a final piece of advice. "Carter, if you do this, your body might not hold out. Are you sure it's worth the risk?" Alex nodded without hesitation. "It's worth it. For them." Thraxon gave a slow, thoughtful nod, the closest thing to a gesture of respect from his kind. "May your battle be swift, Deathworlder." Armed and ready, Alex made his way to the mining colony, arriving just as the Zektar raiders were extorting supplies from the local miners. When he stepped into their camp, the raiders' laughter turned to shock as they recognized the human they thought they had left for dead. "You should have finished the job," Alex said, raising his plasma rifle, his voice echoing through the hollow corridors of the colony. "Now it's my turn." Chapter 5. A New Kind of Respect. The battle that followed was brutal. The Zektar raiders fought with their typical viciousness, their claws and plasma weapons tearing through the air. But Alex fought like a man with nothing left to lose, moving with a speed and precision that left the aliens scrambling. He used the terrain to his advantage, drawing on years of military training to outmaneuver the raiders. The fight left him battered, his wounds reopened, but in the end, he stood over the last of the Zektar, the heat of his plasma rifle fading as the echoes of the battle died away. Alex slumped against a wall, breathing heavily, his body finally giving in to the strain. But this time, he felt a sense of closure. As he was transported back to Stellar Sanctum for a second time, his condition even worse than before, he found Dr. Thraxon waiting for him. The alien surgeon looked at the human with something that almost resembled admiration. "You have done what no one else would. You humans, you are truly as relentless as they say." Alex managed a weary smile. "It's not about being relentless, document. It's about doing what's right." Dr. Thraxon nodded, taking in the human's words as they worked to stabilize him once more. And as Alex slipped into a restful sleep, his mission complete, the aliens of Stellar Sanctum found themselves with a new understanding of the mysterious Deathworlders. They realized that there was a fire within humans, one that could burn through even the darkest of nights.